Hey everyone, Big Ben 85 here, and in this video I just want to show you the best settings for F1 2019 using the Logitech G29 and the G20. Please note that it's just my opinion. I won't be doing lap time comparisons or anything, it's just what I feel's right. I haven't had much trouble with it, and it might save you some time. So first of all, I'll just show you where it is in the menu. So it's just in Game Options, Settings, Control Vibration and Force Feedback. Then I believe the default wheel that was selected was the Fanatec wheel, so I did have to select the brand and the model of the steering wheel, which should be easy enough to find. Then you want to edit that control scheme. You definitely don't want to just use the default control scheme for that. Well, not so much the control scheme as the calibration and the vibration and force feedback. So if we press the right bumper, go into calibration, here we have steering dead zone, which I suggest you put up to 3, maybe even up to 5. And what that'll do is it'll stop the wheel from wobbling when you're trying to go in a straight line. We're leaving steering linearity, steering saturation. Want to get to 15 or above, and what this does is it saves you from having to cross your arms over when you're going around, say, a medium corner. You should only really be doing that on a hairpin or a really tight corner, so I'd say 15 or above for that. Throttle dead zone feels fine as it is, throttle linearity feels fine as it is, but feel free to test those. Throttle saturation fine, braking dead zone, brake linearity. Brake saturation, which is possibly the most important one to bump up, I'd say put on 35, 40 or above, and what this will do is make sure that you don't have to really press down on the pedal. I'd say what you'd normally consider full braking wouldn't be enough, so it's a good idea to bump that up. You may have to possibly reduce that if you take ABS off, but I found that was the sweet spot with that for now. If you go right bumper and then we look at vibration and force feedback, we want full strength. So I think the default is set at 100, we want 150, because I think that the force feedback in general is just too low on this game. It's not too bad, but it considered when compared with games like Forza Motorsport, in my opinion, it's quite low on the force feedback scale, so bump that up as much as you can. On track effects, doesn't feel like loads with 25 on, what I've got here, but if you put it up too much, the wheel does tend to wobble a little bit when you're trying to go in a straight line. It might even wobble a little bit when you've got it on 25, but if you can put up with it a tiny bit, I'd say try and get it as high as you can without it being off-putting. Rumble strip effects, I've put 70. You could probably get away with 50 or 60, or maybe you'd want a lot more. I tend to like it around this range, so I definitely feel quite a lot of rumble when I'm going over them, but it's not distracting, or it doesn't feel like it's gonna completely wreck the car or anything. It's just good to have that effect. Off-track effects 50, just so you know that you should really be getting back on the track when you feel it, but it doesn't need to be over the top. Wheel damping, strength of the tyres forced through the racing wheel, so I've not actually played about with that, so I'll have to get back to you with that one on whether or not when your tyres start wearing a lot, whether that makes a big difference. Understeer enhance, just so you can, that's on so you can feel when the grips slipping away from you basically. And that should be all you need to change. You can change this through the in-game menu, which is quite useful, so you can have a play about with that in time trials. Probably the best place to have a play about with that, and just make sure that you save those settings. You can have a few different calibrations as well to play about with between to test, so make sure you save those calibrations. Sorry for the low quality of the video, but obviously the bigger my channel gets, the higher the quality of the video will be. So if you can check out my other videos, just using streaming software to do this in one take, so apologies for that, but I hope this helps your F1 2019 experience.